Hi, and you're now with the Forerunner Chronicles. Alright everybody, it's been a while and got a lot of questions on my chest, so let's get started. Like this first question, for instance. Now, everybody out there, you do know who the Pope is, right? You know that gentleman, he wears that weird looking fish hat that he got from the pagan god Dagon? Yeah, well, anyway, the Catholic Church claims that the Pope is the Vicar of Christ. This means that he is supposed to be the official representative of Jesus Christ in their eyes. And hence he is supposed to represent the principles of Jesus Christ while he's alive on this earth. Now, if all that's really true, then why is it that in the Bible, in the book of Mark chapter 12 and verse 17, that Jesus Christ himself said, "Render therefore unto Caesar the things that belong unto Caesar, and unto God the things that belong unto God"? And in essence, what Jesus Christ was saying here is that the civil authorities should never take any part in passing any law that could possibly infringe upon a man's freedom of conscience, especially in the realms of how one chooses to worship, and vice versa. The church should never try to utilize the powers of the state to infringe upon a man's freedom of conscience or influence how or when one chooses to worship. Now, all that's really true. So if this man truly is supposed to be the representative of Christ, why is it that this past November, the Pope was forcefully insisting that the leaders of Europe put into legislation that Sunday worship and Sunday rest be mandatory for the citizens of the European Union? I mean, it's a question. Somebody ought to answer it. And while we're on the topic of church and state, allegedly this coming December 6th, which is tomorrow, President George W. Bush and President-elect Barack Obama are supposed to have a meeting in the Oval Office with a delegation of representatives from, guess where? That's right, the Vatican. These guys just keep popping up all over the place. And allegedly they're going to discuss and even sign some type of document of these men agreeing to follow the desires of the Pope. Now question, if this alleged meeting really does take place, what type of things do you think they're going to discuss in reference to the desires of the Pope? By any chance, do you think that the whole issue of what relevance or role that Sunday worship is going to play in the North American Union? You think that might come up? I mean, it's a question. And speaking about the North American Union, did you hear about the AMERO? You know, that new currency that they're going to use as the official currency when Mexico, Canada, and the United States of America come together under one great head? Well, yeah, it's to my understanding that they shipped 800 billion of these AMEROs off to China in an attempt to put a dent in the huge debt that we have with that country at this time. And sometime next year, I hear that it's scheduled for the AMERO to become the new currency of our country. Oh, I'm sorry, at that time, to be politically correct, it will be our union. But before that can take place, sometime between January and February, it's being rumored that they are going to demonetize the US dollar. That means that the US dollar will be made absolutely worthless. It will have no value. Now here's my question. When they do demonetize the dollar, because they're going to do it, and make it absolutely worthless, can you think of a few things that are going to mean more to you then than a handful of dollars? You know, off the top of my head, I can think of at least one thing. Two-ply. And here's another question on the whole situation with the demonetizing of the dollar. You know, they say that they're going to give you like 2 to 10 cents on every dollar that you have in your possession. Now, can you imagine what state of things are going to be in our society in the United States of America when that takes place? I mean, think about it. If people are insane enough now to react like a terrified bunch of livestock and trample on a holiday worker at Walmart just to get a sale, what in the world are they going to do when the government mocks them to their faces and offers them a pocket full of change for their life savings? I mean, it's a question. Think about it.